What's up, guys? It is that time again. I'm not gonna make this intro too long. Let's just get straight into the favorites video. Okay, so this month was very busy. A lot of new music came out, a lot of new games came out that I had pre-ordered. I started getting back into reading again, finally reading some of the books on my bookshelf. I watched a lot of like TV shows and stuff on the streaming services. So we're going to get into all of that right now. So first off on the list is music, as always. The link to my 2019 playlist is in the description down below. I've sort of separated this into what songs have come from actual albums that were released first, and then singles will come afterwards. So in the order that they are on my playlist, which is not necessarily order of release. I have to go back and sort of rework that to be order of release. But we have Strangers Forever on the album Hello Exile by the Menzingers. We've got Apocalypse on the album Black Anima by Lacuna Coil. Take the Crown on the album Walk the Sky by Alter Bridge. Walk Like Kings, the song that I did a cover of, on the album Screamer by Third Eye Blind. All the Way on the album Surviving by Jimmy World. Sober on the album Nation by Bad Wolves. The song Heavenly on the album Cry by Cigarettes After Sex. Your Number's Up on the Silver Scream Final Cut by Ice Nine Kills, which is only really different from the Silver Scream by the addition of this and like 3 other songs. We've got Hallucinations off the Hallucinations EP. As far as I can tell, it's the only EP on the list, so I just put it in with the rest of the albums, since it's more than just that song, by Paris, and it is a great song. Parents on the album The Underrated Youth by Youngblood. Rescue on New Normal by Horror Show, and Everyday on the album Polyanarchy by Hermitude, and that song features Hoodlum. The singles on the list are Ocean by Lady Antebellum. That album actually comes out on the 15th of this month, and Ocean is the title track. So the album itself will be called Ocean. We've got Where I Belong by Simple Plan, which features State Champs and We Are the Kings. Skin by Ships Have Sailed. Degenerates by A Day to Remember. Clean by Hey Violet. They've been putting out singles pretty much all year. This is just sort of the latest one. Rocks Are Everyday by Half-Lives. Already Dead by Hollywood Undead. And Slow Motion by Courage My Love. And they're all really good songs. I have sort of, since I've found that they'd been released sort of thing, whether as albums or as singles, I've been playing pretty much all of them pretty much all month. And I've definitely got a few new favorites within that group. Games, I have props sitting here, so I'm just going to quickly readjust myself so I can show you what games are. I have obviously separated this into, as always, video games and like board games and card games. Since my phone, which I'm recording on, is sitting on top of my pile of board games, I can't really show you the card and board games, so I'll go through this quickly. While my nephew was here at the holidays beginning of the month, we played Cluedo, which I am notoriously good at, at least as far as this household is concerned. So that was a lot of fun. My nephew's 7, and he loves that game as well. And it sort of reignited in me the desire to make a steampunk Professor Plum costume. So I am now like hell-bent on making that happen. And I also played the blue box of Cards Against Humanity when I was at my friend's 21st birthday party. Would have loved to playtest the absurd box, but as it was her birthday, I let her choose, and that was the box that she chose. Now, for video games, I'm going to split between my 2 platforms. I play on PS4 and I play on Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to start with PS4. Let me just make sure that these are in the order that I've got them on my list, which they are most certainly not. And they are now. Alright, so the first one was CTR's Spooky Tour, which introduced the track Nina's Nightmare, where you basically are racing through like cornfields. There's a big like haunted pumpkin king spider thing that wants to stomp on you. There's little jack-o'-lanterns that vomit. I'm going to assume it's like acid or something. It slows you down anyway. And it glows like bright green. Weird. And then you go through like this little haunted house. There's portraits and stuff of Madame Amberley's School of Evil Geniuses, or whatever it's called, from, I want to say like Twin Sanity, but I don't think that's right. It was a game that I didn't play, I know that much, but she was originally introduced in that, and I had thought, since they had introduced Nina and Brio as 2 new characters, that Madame Amberley would have been the 3rd one, but it was Komodo Mo, the brother to Komodo Joe, who's one of the villains in the main game. So that was kind of cool, as well as getting a Tiny Tiger werewolf skin, a Goth Coco skin, with some of the other ones that I unlocked. I mean, the ones that I didn't unlock, there was a Goo Monster for Fake Crash, there was a Humpty Dumpty skin for Entrance, there was like a heavy metal glam rock costume for Nitrous Oxide. There are a couple of really cool things to this one. I wasn't going to play it originally, found it was Halloween themed, it being one of my favourite holidays. I was like, I've got to do this. And it ended up being, even though I didn't play it as much as I played the other 3 before this, I do believe that I will be getting the champion cart decal, which is really cool. Ever since I got that on the first one, which I wasn't expecting to, I have pretty much consistently been winning and earning the decals for the champion cart, and I'm by no means in like the top anything except for like the top 5%, obviously. But yeah, it's just really cool to be able to have all of those decals, because the one thing that my nephew loves more than anything else when he's playing this game with me is the customization on the characters. And so playing these to get the new skins and unlock the new tracks and all the other fun things that go with that is kind of the sole reason that I get on and do that. They also introduced the drift feature, the driving style of drift, which has pretty much been the mode that I've been playing as well as introducing the ghost hunt, which I hope stays as part of Nina's Nightmare, as part of its race, and I hope that they like introduce a challenge specific like mode specifically for winning the race with the most amount of ghosts or something, as part of like the main game. I'm pretty sure today actually is the last day of that Grand Prix, and then in a couple of days' time, we will have the Neon Circus Grand Prix, so I'm looking forward to that. The next game that I played was Control. I did do sort of a unboxing review thing of this when I first got it earlier in the month. Was it earlier in the month or end of September? I can't remember, but it was around about my birthday anyway, and I have thoroughly enjoyed playing this game. I'm pretty sure I was looking online the other day, and I'm pretty sure it got Game of the Month. So yeah, it's a really good game. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but you should definitely check it out if you get the opportunity. The next one I played was Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which I also played upon its release. Those last two I pre-ordered with release dates in October. They are actually new games. I loved Wildlands, which is why I originally pre-ordered this. And yeah, I didn't get very far through either Control or Ghost Recon. I think Ghost Recon I only really did like the first mission or two before I tried to go off and try to get really good weapons to begin with, which was probably a mistake. I should probably play a little bit, get some more experience, and then try going after the weapons. So I'm definitely going to be revisiting that this month, and I'll probably end up finishing Control this month as well. Yeah, why not? I finally installed Anthem, which I've had sitting there since it came out. It being a game you have to play online, I didn't really put it on to begin with because I don't have a whole heap of people that I can play online with, and I don't want to just randomly join a server, because for me the most fun part about playing online is being able to play with my friends, and so I'd like to be able to do that, and I have a friend that wants to play that with me. So technically speaking, I haven't actually played this game yet, but we will get around to it. I did put it on my PlayStation so that I could play it last month. Borderlands 3, I played. I haven't finished it in its entirety. I am playing as the Siren character. I can't remember her name. I think it's Aya or something. Maya sounds right. But I'm playing as her at the moment. I'm thinking I'm going to do a replay after I finish with her as the one with the big mech suit. She looks pretty mean. But yeah, Borderlands 3 is one that I'll be finishing off, as well as MediEvil, which I obviously did the gameplay video for. The links to the unboxing for Control and the gameplay for MediEvil will also be in the description. And obviously, since I'm planning on eventually shutting this channel down after I start my new channel in the new year, that video will only be up for a very short time. So if you want to go watch it, go and watch it after this. Then we come to my Switch, which I only really have 2 games that I'm playing on that at the moment. Let's Go Pikachu. I'm up to the Fuchsia City Gym. I'm trying to, at the moment, just grind to level up my ground type Pokemon. I have 6 of them, so I'm just trying to go around and level them up enough that I'll be able to get some actual decent ground moves, to be able to be super effective against that gym, so I can just get it out of the way, because then after that I can go and catch some new Pokemon. And the other one that I've played is Smash Brothers Ultimate. I have, not through like the story mode, but just through like the free play I've unlocked every character in that. I'll probably go back through and finish off the story mode as best I can. I've uncovered probably a quarter of the map, and sort of defeated all of the characters within that. So I'm definitely going to try and finish off that story mode, but for the part where it matters in the multiplayer side of things, with playing with my nephew, he can now pick anyone he wants. So yeah, so that's all for video games. That side there, we can get rid of this stack. We move on to books. As I said, I got back into reading. I was trying to challenge myself to read this book within the last week. It has 33 chapters, I believe, if I remember correctly. 33 chapters, so I was going to try and challenge myself to, I think it was like last 5 or 6 days, and I was going to challenge myself to try and read 7 chapters a day, which, considering the size of the book, is not that hard. But the book is Unbreakable by Cami Garcia. I am currently on chapter 10, further through than I remembered. So I'm on chapter 10. It's a really good book. It also sort of fit the theme for Halloween. She it was only after I'd gotten to this point that I was doing some research online and found out that one of the like mythological creatures in Celtic mythology is called a cat-she, which is actually a black cat, like the main character in this has, that was believed to steal your breath, which is what the cat does. It gets possessed by a spirit and then sits on her chest and tries to suck the life out of her mouth while she's sleeping, and that's actually what the cat-she did. So it ended up tying in very well to the whole way that I was celebrating Halloween, and it is a good book as well, so I do recommend you go check it out if you can. Comedy, I mean, other than the usual just like dry bar comedy videos that I'll come across on Facebook, I didn't really watch any specific like comedy specials. So I have started watching a comedy series that I will obviously have in my November favorites, because I did not start watching that until after Halloween. But as far as television goes, breaking it down into streaming services, because I don't watch live TV. On Amazon Prime, I completely watched all of American Gods, all of Carnival Row. Both of them were really good. I was kind of sad when Mad Sweeney died, because it turned out that he was Lou, who, if you are not aware, is a Celtic god. He is seen as a warrior chief, but he is not necessarily their god of war. He's got a lot of things attributed to him, none of which are coming to mind at the moment. But he was sort of seen as higher up as far as like the hierarchy of like the royal family of that particular tribe of gods is concerned. On Netflix, I watched the first season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I would have watched the second, but I wanted to try and watch as many different shows as I possibly could, so I could talk about all of these shows. But yeah, I finally got around to watching season 1 of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to being able to sit down and watch season 2, which I'll probably do after I watch season 3 of Riverdale, because I am really far behind on Netflix shows, primarily due to the fact that I've been watching shows on Amazon Prime and on Stan. And on Stan, this month, I watched the entire season of Looking for Alaska, and I'm not usually the kind of person to develop an emotional attachment to something on the screen. You can ask my friends that; they will tell you that I did not even shed a tear when Tony Stark died in Endgame, and they use that as the basis to believe that I have no soul. They're probably right. However, John Green, there's something in his stories that every single time gets me. So obviously and very famously, The Fault in Our Stars that just made everyone weep. Paper Towns was more of a sort of coming of age than a love story, but still had a very sort of optimistic denouement is how I like to describe his endings. Like, something bad happens and the story ends on like a tragedy, but there's always like that positive, optimistic like outlook that the main character has due to the fact that they've had this experience with this person that's then disappeared in one way or another. And Looking for Alaska was no different, and it got me. It did. And then the last show that I watched was season 1 of Preacher on Stan. And I'm looking forward to getting back into that. It's been a show that I've wanted to watch for a while, and I saw Halloween as sort of the perfect opportunity to get into it. So yeah. When it comes to film and cinema, I went and watched Joker for my birthday. I think I've said it before, but I'm pretty sure Hollywood thinks that I'm a villain because they're always releasing villain solo stories. Like last year we had Venom, this year we had Joker. I'm expecting next year there'll be another villain with their film having that October release date. But I went and watched Joker, absolutely loved it. I think it has well deserved all of the awards and records that it has set, chief among which is highest grossing R-rated film, which, I mean, that's the American R rating. It's only MA in Australia, which is our second top rating, which, if you're an American viewer, obviously means that they've got to try really hard to get an R rating in Australia. I think in my entire life, I've only actually seen 2 R-rated films according to the Australian rating system, and I can't even remember what they were, because most films in Australia fall under the M or the MA category. I then also watched, and I have them sitting here, I watched Into the Spider-Verse with my nephew, who, being 7 years old, loves Spider-Man. And obviously I watched The Mummy. I did a bad film review of that, which will also be in the description. So if you want to go and check that out, again, you only have a very limited amount of time to go and watch that. For anyone that's planning on following me over to this new channel when I set it up, bad film reviews will be a thing that I do, although they will be a little bit more structured. I'm going to work on exactly how I present things, and there will be a proper structure for it. I'm working on trying to set up a spot where I can actually sit down and review the film properly. So that will definitely be something that continues. So if you want to go and, if you want to be able to see more of those, definitely be following me over when I change to a new channel. And then we come to the final bit, which is just anything and everything else that I sort of picked up during the month. So I was gifted some AirPods, basically. I don't believe that they're the actual Apple AirPods, but they look very similar. And yeah, they don't have a huge battery life on them. I know that there are some out there that have like 6 hours battery time, and like battery life. These ones seem to go for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they just like shut themselves off. So they're not perfectly ideal for the kinds of walks that I go on, which are usually 2 hours plus, because it means that I've only really got music for the first like 2 hours sort of thing, and then after that I just have to walk in silence, or be playing my music out loud, like, yeah. I've got this album. I'd gone in to pick up, I think it was MediEvil, and I had a $10 Sanity voucher. I don't have a job at the moment, so I'm not making any money, but this was $10. It is the 1975's album, I Like It When You Sleep, For You're So Beautiful, Yet So Unaware of It, and it is, I think I also showed you guys this as well, pretty sure. I will double check, and if I did, that video will also be in the description down below. And then last but not least, I got some new pops. I have 3 new pops. This is from back when I still was, still had an income coming in. So the first of which is this Flying Spyro. He's got a little like blue star shape that's holding his body up. He is beautiful. And on the back it shows you that there's more in this series. Obviously there's 3 there. I said I have 3. So the others are Nasty Nork and Ripto, which I am very happy with. Combined with my other Spyro, which is over here sitting under a lot of stuff at the moment, this now makes 4 Spyro pops, and I'll probably end up setting them up somewhere in view because of how much I love Spyro. I'm thinking I might move Sekiro back a little bit and set them up there. Or we'll figure something out anyway. But that brings me to the end of my list. I know this video was a lot longer than my favorite videos usually are, but again, so much stuff came out and I did so much stuff this month, largely due to the fact that I was able to get my license back about halfway through the month, which was very helpful in being able to do a lot more stuff. And yeah, so that's all I've got for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. If you've got video ideas and stuff that you want me to do, whether it be challenges or tags or literally anything, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to be starting to make a list, and whatever's on that list when I start the new channel in the new year, they are going to be the first videos that I will make. So if you want to see something, let me know. And until next time, guys, night to A2, and I'll check you all later.